So dear student, in the topic of projectile motion, it's in a fourth lecture in which we are going to first of all calculate one sum from the exercise, and after that lots of extra information I will give you related to the topic projectile motion. So let's first of all calculate exercise sum number 30. Question is, a fighter plane flying horizontally at an altitude of 1.5 kilometer with a speed 720 kilometer per hour. So there is a one fighter plane, and that fighter plane is at a height 1.5 kilometer flying horizontally with a speed 720 kilometer per hour. Okay, for example, suppose consider from the surface of earth at a height 1.5 kilometer, a fighter plane is moving horizontally. Let's consider this is the fighter plane, and that fighter plane moving horizontally with the velocity 720 kilometer per hour. If you convert this velocity into meter per second, then it will be 200 meter per second. So fighter plane is moving with this speed 200 meter per second, and from the surface of earth at a height 1.5 kilometer. Okay, now that fighter plane passes directly overhead an anti-aircraft gun. Imagine that on the surface of earth this is the anti-aircraft gun. From the gun definitely a bullet is fired or a bomb is fired from the gun. So that our aim is that we would like to hit the fighter plane. Okay, now question is, at what angle from the vertical, remember, at what angle from the vertical should the gun be fired with the muzzle speed, means initial velocity 600 meter per second, to hit the plane. So as I said that our target is we would like to hit the plane. Using gun we would like to hit the plane. So with an initial velocity 600 meter per second, it's a muzzle speed of the bullet is fired from the gun. So with this velocity, suppose bullet is fired from the gun to hit this fighter plane. So question is, at what angle with vertical? See, this is the vertical direction. At what angle with the vertical means they ask us to find this angle. Okay, bhai, a bullet is fired at what angle with the vertical so that the bullet will hit the fighter plane. Okay, is the first question. Next question is also there, but we calculate the next question, we understand the next question later. So listen here, in case of projectile motion, this is the initial velocity of the bullet which is fired from the gun. This initial velocity has two components. One is V0 cos theta 0, where remember theta 0 is the angle made by the projectile with the horizontal. So, okay, first of all, a question arises in your mind, can we hit the bullet with the fighter plane? Agar if the bullet hit the fighter plane, then which conditions should be satisfied? So answer is horizontal velocity of fighter plane and horizontal velocity of this bullet which is fired from the gun. As we know that this bullet has two components of initial velocity, V0 sin theta and V0 cos theta, where V0 cos theta is the horizontal velocity. Agar horizontal velocity of bullet and horizontal velocity of fighter plane are become equal, then and then only the bullet is able to hit the target. Bullet is able to hit the fighter plane, otherwise not. It means ke here I'll write, if V means it's a velocity of fighter plane and V0 cos theta is the horizontal velocity of the bullet which is fired from the gun. If these two are equal, then bullet is hit the target, otherwise not. So let's equalize this two. From this cos theta is equals to v upon v0. V is the horizontal velocity of fighter plane, which is 200 meter per second. V0 is the initial velocity, muzzle velocity of the bullet, which is fired from the gun, which is 600. It's in a 2 by 6, 2 0 cancel. 2 by 6 means 1 by 3. 1 by 3 means 0.3333. Cos theta is equals to 0.3333. So theta is equals to cos inverse 0.3333. Now, in a log table book, if you observe the natural cosine, then for this value 0.3333 of the value of cosine, angle will be 19.5 degree is the angle, this angle. Okay, answer is, agar the bullet is fired at an angle 19.5 degree with the vertical, this is the vertical direction, and bullet is fired at an angle 19.5 degree with the vertical, then and then only the bullet will able to hit the target, will able to hit the fighter plane, otherwise not. So first answer is obtained. Okay, at what angle from the vertical should the gun be fired to hit the plane? So answer is, bullet should be fired at an angle 19.5 degree with the vertical. Acha, with the vertical this angle is 19.5. It means that remaining angle with the horizontal will be 70.5 degree. So first answer is obtained. Now dear student, the second question is, so here the pilot of the fighter plane definitely destroyed, the entire fighter plane is destroyed. But now the question is, remember initially right now this fighter plane is at what height? From the ground is at a height 1.5 kilometer. Now at what minimum altitude means height should the pilot of the fly the plane to avoid being hit? उसे बचना है, वो फाइटर प्लेन चला रहा है पायलट, उसे बचना है, तो वो फाइटर प्लेन को 1.5 किलोमीटर की हाइट पे जो चलाएगा तो वो फाइटर प्लेन क्रैश हो जाएगा. क्वेश्चन इज दैट द फाइटर प्लेन शुड बी फ्लाई एट विच मिनिमम हाइट सो दैट टू अवॉइड द हिटिंग, टू अवॉइड बीइंग हिट. तो लेट्स फाइंड द मैक्सिमम हाइट इन केस ऑफ, we all know now according to this calculation the bullet is fired with the vertical, this angle is 19.5, means with the horizontal angle is 70.5 degree. Let's find the maximum height gained by the bullet. Let's first of all find the maximum height gained by the bullet. Suppose answer of maximum height is, suppose just example, suppose answer of maximum height is 10 kilometer. So fighter plane should be flying at a height more than 10 kilometer to avoid being hit. Okay, let's find first of all the maximum height. We have the formula to get the maximum height, and formula is V0 square sin square theta 0 upon 2g. Remember in this formula this angle is the angle made by projectile with the horizontal. Okay, let's put all the values. V0 square means 600 square sin square. As we know that this angle is 19.5 degree. So remaining angle is 70.5 degree upon 2. In the calculation, in the question they ask that value of gravitational acceleration, instead of 9.8 we have to consider 10. Okay, 6 square is 36, 20 square is 40, 1 2 3 4. Dear student, value of sine 70.5 degree is approximately 0.9455, something like that. You can observe in a log table book, natural sine. So here it's in a square of 9455 and divide by 20. Answer will be in kilometer. I'll directly write the answer. You can check yourself. Is 16 kilometer. Actually, it's in a 15.99 kilometer is the accurate answer. So it means that the bullet which is fired from the gun will attain maximum height 15.9 kilometer. So agar fighter plane is flying below this height, so definitely the bullet will hit the fighter plane. So fighter plane should be flying at a height more than this value to avoid being hit. The answer is, agar the pilot of the fighter plane fly the fighter plane at a height 16 kilometer, then the plane will be avoid to being hit. So answer is pilot of fighter plane should fly the plane at a height approx 16 kilometer to avoid being hit. To avoid being hit, the pilot of the fighter plane should fly the plane at a height 16 kilometer. So this is the example number 30 from the textbook. It's a good sum. Now, as I said earlier, that in the topic of projectile motion, let's discuss some extra tricky points in the next session. So now, dear student, here I am going to explain one most important concept about projectile motion, and also easy understanding of one of the illustration of the textbook, that is number 4.7. Illustration of textbook 4.7, easy explanation or easy understanding of this illustration also involved in this discussion. So dear student, listen very carefully. I am going to tell you one sentence. That sentence definitely I'll explain with the help of diagram also. So many times I'll explain the statement, but listen the first time. If object is thrown at an angle theta, k at an angle 90 minus theta, in both case range will be same. Okay, again I'll repeat the sentence. Object is thrown at an angle theta, k at an angle 90 minus theta. In both case range will be same. Condition is that in both case you have to throw the object with the same muzzle speed, with same initial velocity. Okay, to explain this, to explain or to prove this statement, one more time I'll tell you. Listen few sentence clearly. Object is thrown at an angle 30 degree, k at an angle 60 degree. In both case range will be same. Object is thrown at an angle 10 degree, k at an angle 80 degree. Range will be same. Object is thrown at an angle 2 degree, k at an angle 88 degree. In both case range will be same. But in all sentences, I think now you get the imagination that angle of the addition of these two angles should be 90 degree. As I said, that object is thrown at an angle 10 degree, k 80 degree. In both case range will be same. Object is thrown at an angle 2 degree, k 88 degree. In both case range will be same. Object is thrown at an angle 30 degree, k at an angle 60 degree. In both case range will be same. We will definitely prove this. But right now remember this, addition of these two should be 90 degree. If object is thrown at an angle theta, k at an angle 90 minus theta, in both case range will be same. Let's prove it. So statement is, object is thrown with velocity v0 at an angle theta or at an angle 90 minus theta. In both case range will be same. Means I just want to tell you, object is suppose thrown at an angle 30 degree, k object is thrown at an angle 60 degree. In both case range will be same. Again I'll repeat the condition. If you throw the object with velocity v0 at an angle 30 degree, with the same velocity v0 you should throw the object at an angle 60 degree. With some other speed if you throw, then range will be changed. But in both angle, at a 30 degree or at a 60 degree, the initial velocity should be same. Then and then only the range becomes same. Let's prove it now. Finally, let's prove this statement. So for that, first of all, you should remember, you should know the formula of range, and the formula of range is V0 square sine 2 theta upon G is the formula of range. Now tell me any two angle, but remember that the addition of this two angle should be 90 degree. Okay, let's check with this one. In this equation, one time I'll put theta is equals to 30 degree, and one time I'll put theta is equals to 60 degree. Let's check that. We would like to prove at this angle or at this angle. If you throw the object at this angle, okay, if you throw the object at this angle, in both case range will be same. Okay, so if you put theta equals to 30, so 32 is 60. So here the formula of range R1 is V0 square sine 60 degree upon G. Now I'll put theta equals to 60 degree. 62 is 120. So equation of range will be V0 square sine 120 degree upon G. Still definitely I'll know that you have a hesitation in your mind. Okay, this R1 and R2, how it's same? Here V0 square G as it is, but here sine 60 is there, here sine 120 is there. But dear student, value of sine 60 and value of sine 120 are same. Let's check it. I'll think in 10th standard, you already know that sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. Sine 90 minus theta is equals to cos theta. So, can I write sine 120 degree? Okay, sine 120 degree is equals to, can I write cos 90 minus 120? Cos 90 minus theta is equals to sine theta. Okay, here is equals to cos, difference of this two value is 30 degree. Difference of this two value is 30 degree. So cos 30, isn't it? Value of cos 30. Value of cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So value of sine 60 is also root 3 by 2. So cos 30 is equals to sine 9. We can also write in this way. Cos 30 means sine 90 minus 30. Sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. So is equals to sine 60 also. So see that it's proved that sine 120 and sine 60, their values are same. So it means that in both case sine 60 degree and sine 120 degree are same. It means that therefore R1 is equals to R2. Okay, let's check it again with the help of some another angle. Okay, here in this equation now I'll put angle 5 degree, and second time I'll put angle 85 degree. See, addition of this two angle will be same. It means that object is thrown at an angle 5 degree. Okay, object is thrown at an angle 85 degree. In both case range will be same. Let's check it. Let's prove it. 5 degree. Okay, so in this equation if you put theta 5, so 5 2s are 10. Here 10 degree will come. Now if you put theta equals to 85, so 85 2s are 170 will come. 170. So now let's prove that sine 10 and sine 170 are same. Look at here. Sine 10 and sine 120 are same. Sine 170 degree, can I write is equals to cos 90 minus 170? Cos 90 minus theta is equals to sine theta. Okay. One more thing also you should know that 0 to 90 degree mathematically is known as a first quadrant. 90 to 180 degree is known as a second quadrant, and remember 170 degrees in second quadrant. In second quadrant sine function is positive. Okay, so answer will be positive. It's in a cos 170 and a 90. The difference will be 80 degree. And cos 80 means sine 90 minus 80. Sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. And sine 90 minus 80 is equals to sine 10 degree. See, sine 10 and sine 170 are same. Sine 10 degree and sine 170 degree are same. It means that R1 is equals to R2. So always remember, if object is thrown at an angle theta, K at an angle 90 minus theta, in both case range will be same. But only the required condition is that you should throw in both angle, at both angle, you should throw the object with same initial velocity, otherwise not. So this is the most important aspects of the projectile motion, and the same thing is derived or proved in illustration number 7 of the textbook. So dear student, let me explain another important concept which is definitely very much useful in the competitive exams like JEE or NEET. So another most important tricky points in the projectile motion, let's understand with the help of one situation. Assume that one person is standing here at A point. Another person is suppose standing here at B point. So there are two persons on the surface of ground, on the earth. One person is standing at A point, another person is standing at B point. Both have a one ball in his hand, and both person simultaneously means at the same time, throw the ball from his hand. But the difference is that the person who is standing here at A point, he throws the ball at an angle theta with velocity v0. The person who is standing at A point throws the ball at an angle theta with the horizontal with initial velocity v0, and the person who is standing here at B point throw the ball in a vertically directly in upward direction, throw the ball with velocity v directly in a vertical direction. But this two process occurs at the same time, not one by one. First of all, the person at A point throws the ball, and after some time at B point the person throws the ball. No, it's not like that. Both the person who is standing here and here throws the ball simultaneously, but one throws the ball at an angle theta, another throws the ball at a directly in a vertical direction. Now question is, can both the balls hit each other or not? Both the balls are collide with each other or not? This ball and this ball collides with each other or not? So to get the answer, one condition should be satisfied. Agar that condition, I'll tell you within a short time, agar that condition satisfied, then and then only these two balls are collide with each other, otherwise not. Now which condition should be satisfied? So first of all, look at here. This initial velocity v0 has two components, that is v0 cos theta and v0 sin theta, are the horizontal and vertical velocity of this ball. So condition is that both the balls are collide with each other only if their vertical velocities are same. It means that vertical velocity of this ball v0 sin theta and vertical velocity of this ball v. If vertical velocities are same, then and then only these two balls are collide with each other, otherwise not. So answer is, if vertical velocity of both balls are same, then they collides with each other. It means that v is the vertical velocity of this ball and v0 sin theta is the vertical velocity of this ball. Agar vertical velocities become equal, then and then only these two balls are collide with each other. So this is also one interesting point that you should recall this, you should remember this for few MCQs of the projectile motion.